think is the most important thing in life? What would you think? Most valuable thing in life? Happiness? This kid has seen something that is going on with me. Somewhere in the web, someplace. Life itself. That is amazing, life itself. Now picture this. I want you to picture this with me. All right? Let's say if you were to shut the door. Shut, sealed, completely sealed. Okay? All the ventilation systems are completely sealed. The air is turned off. And I suck all the air out of this room. What's going to be the most important thing on your mind at that very moment? Tell me as you're gasping for breath. Can't break the door. It's sealed, concrete. All the air has been sucked out of the room. You're gasping for your last breath. Breath will become, the air that you breathe, will become the most important thing in life for you at that very moment. Is that true or not? Absolutely true. Absolutely true. So you see, the first point that I want to emphasize is a very vast topic, life and success, right? The very first thing I want to emphasize is success. Success is very needs-based. It is very needs-based. For example, just as when you're gasping for your last breath, that air becomes the most vital thing. Nothing else is on your mind, is there? Very important. Now, for a day laborer in Bangladesh, when he brings home the bread at the end of the day, if he had a successful day, then he's successful. Would you agree with me? For you, success may be something else. Let's say, for example, passing your next, it could be losing a few pounds. Whatever it is, success is needs-based. First thing. Second, success is not a destination, it's a journey. It is a journey. All right? Now, having said that, let's see the kind of questions, especially younger people, the kind of questions we go through in our minds. Younger people, all of us do, but younger people, they're always going through what if, only if, only if, only if I had this, only if I had that. Let's take a look at some of those questions. Would you agree? If only I could be more popular. Now tell me honestly, who amongst you doesn't want to be popular? Oh no, I don't want to be popular. Any of you? Come on, talk to me. Yes, all of you want to be popular, right? Trust me, an old geezer like me, I still want to be popular too. Okay? All right, so all want to be popular. If I only had more money. Would you agree with me? Now, in a lot of cultures, a lot of people, money, they just, and often I ask audience, I've spoken all over the world, so I ask people, how many of you would agree with me the money is not the most important thing in life? Can you raise your hands? Money is not not the most important thing in life. Oh, give me a break, each and every one of you. Yes, we all know that money is not the most important thing in life. True? You have to be a little bit more interactive with me. All right. So my second question then is, how many of you would still want a little bit more of it? Hello? I just said money, but I want a little bit more of it, right? See, money is one of those things. It's neither good nor bad. It lands in the hand of a good person. Money can do great things. Like me, moi. Money in the hands of a bad person can do bad things. So money in of itself is neither good or bad. Agreed? So we all want more money. Okay. For some of us, if only I could lose a few pounds. If I could only lose a few pounds, right? Absolutely. Why not? Okay. If only I could be a little better looking. Aha. In South Asia, in our Asian countries, it saddens me to say that we are just so obsessed with fair-complected people. Beauty can be in any shade. If only I could top my class. Hopefully without working very hard. Okay? Now, if only I could get my parents to understand me. They simply can't. Doesn't matter what I do. They just don't understand me. Or maybe if I could get my teachers to understand me. All right? Now, last but certainly not the least, you can fill up the blank. Fill out the blank. Okay, if only I had blank as my girlfriend or boyfriend. How about for you boys out there, Katrina Kaif? Huh, would that be nice? Or Ranbir Kapoor for you girls. Don't give me that face that like it doesn't matter. Oh, I'd take Katrina Kaif any day, all right? Yeah, it would be great. But from a society standpoint, see, we're programmed to say things, act certain ways in which society has told us this is normal. For you to say I want money is not acceptable. For you to say I have normal human urges is not normal. For you to say I like Katrina Kaif, they say, Choritrohin. Sorry, I said something in Bangla which means characterless, okay? Not so. Not so. It's only natural. All right. So, if only, if only, if only. So it seems like our life hangs in the balance of what we call if only. On one side is success, on the other side is failure. But if, I, F, is different on either side of the scale. All right, so seems as if, the list of if doesn't really end. Only if my parents were richer. Only if the stars and the moons got aligned. Only if this happened. Only if that happened. We all go through this. It's true or not. So, seems as if a life hangs in the balance of if. On one side is success, one side is failure. Now, on the IF, on the left side of success, inspiration and faith, belief. Okay? Inspiration and faith, belief. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about this a lot from a scientific standpoint as well. Okay? But basically, you see, my undergraduate degree is in engineering, so I'm a nerd to begin with. So, on the right side is indifference and fear. I'll tell you something very quickly over here. Indifference and fear. Do you know naturally, right, when a child is born? Let me step back. How many sorts of fear are out there? Fear of failure, fear of this, fear of that, fear of this, fear of rejection, blah, 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 blah. 10,000 fears, right? But do you know as human beings, we're born with only two fears. The fear of sound and the fear of height. Everything else the world has taught us. So our brain has gotten programmed through all these fears and stuff. I'm going to tell you something else real quickly before I move on. Some of you may have heard me say this before. But do you know how to boil a frog? Put it in boiling hot water, guess what? Reflexes of a frog, it's going to jump right out. So what you do is put it in lukewarm water and then turn up the heat slowly. Slowly. Someone is nodding their head over here like they're, they eat frog all day long. Anyways, you turn up the heat slowly, a little bit at a time. Before you know it, you'll have a boiled frog. Why do I say that? I say that because unbeknownst to us, what we do to ourselves through a thought process, we, by a certain age, become boiled frogs. And this is science. This is not fiction, by the way. All right, let's keep moving. So now, obviously, if your indifference and fear keeps you from doing anything, failure. On the other hand, if your life is full of inspiration, encouragement, faith, and belief, then it is amazing how your brain can do almost anything you ask it to do. So you see, speakers before me, it was just amazing. Some of the things that came up when the singer, the guitarist gentleman, when he was talking, it was so amazing to me. He said something, and you're going to see some of that stuff in my presentation. He said his jaw got cured despite all medical science being against it. And I'll prove that to you in a little bit. All right? See, life is always a choice. It is what we make of it. Now, when I stand in front of you today, okay, I want you to give you just a little bit of my background. When we go into a restaurant, or picture your favorite sweet, or whatever dish that you really, really like, when it's given to you in a presented form, tastes really good, doesn't it? How often do you really think, what did it take to prepare that? We don't really, do we? What I'm trying to tell you is what you see in front of you had his beginning in a very modest, meager way, much less than any one of you can even imagine. Dhaka back in those days, I lived in States for 27 years, came back from an aging mother, okay? Dhaka back in those days, people didn't have money. Do you know how poor we were? I mean, bus was the only form of transportation. Nowadays, kids, their parents have cars. Without car, I can't move, you know. Oh. We didn't have any of that. And that too, you know, in order to save bus fare and stuff, we used to do stuff which is not really so good. But in any event. And then, but something within me, some mentors in life that I was so blessed to have early on, which happened when I moved to States. I graduated from engineering university here, BUIT, and then in early 80s I moved to States, and then did my master's program and all that stuff. I was very fortunate enough to have some great mentors in life. One person taught me a lesson that I'll tell you what, at that time, I felt like beating the crap out of him. Why? Let me tell you why. Those of us that are from the eastern part of the world, we have this mindset of, do you know who I am? Don't we? You can talk to me. Okay? Do you know who I am? So, obviously, I'm from Bangladesh. So I come to States and I had that chip on my shoulder, you know, do you know who I am? You know, I went to BUIT and stuff. And this guy literally told me off to my face. I went for a small job and stuff like that. And he said to me, by then, by the way, I had finished my MBA and I was the valedictorian, you know, good stuff. So I went in and I thought, you know, I'm somebody. And this guy said to me, what you've done so far doesn't mean bleep bleep to me. And I wanted to kill him. But that served a tremendous lesson in my life. Tremendous lesson in my life. That got me so worked up inside that I said to myself, I'll show you. That was my first lesson. And lessons after that. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is when you look at a finished product, when you look at me, you must understand that I had all the fears, all the inhibitions, all of those things that we all go through. It's only human. Great personalities have said, you know, it's not the absence of fear, it's what you do despite it. So somehow, somewhere, something happened, someone triggered to where I am today in front of you. So each and every one of you, I'll tell you, can do exactly same or better. Why not? Absolutely better. All right, let's move. So now I'm going to talk a little bit of science. This is the human brain. This is the iceberg. An iceberg, it varies. 10 to 15%, maybe even sometimes 5% is up above the surface, and the rest of it is underneath the surface. You don't see it. Remember the Titanic, right? In the case of your brain, it's only 5% that's up there, the conscious brain, which we also call the rational brain. Listen, I'll tell you one thing up front. 20 minutes or whatever, TED Talk, the minimum length of 5%, okay? 20 minutes, yeah. So minimum talk that I have is about 2 hours, and then I have 4-hour talks, and then I do a leadership boot camp, which is 3 days. It's a gift of the gab, you know. I can talk and talk and talk and talk. And all of these things, this just the fields are so huge. I can talk about this nonstop, still not be done. And all real, all science. So in our case, in case of the brain, you got 5% up there, which is your rational brain, but underneath, The primitive brain, we also call it the primitive brain, the subconscious, the emotional brain, is 95%. So I'll tell you very quickly how the brain, kind of some of the things about your brain. All right. A regular computer out there is what? 2.5 gigahertz, 3 gigahertz? Pretty fast, right? You don't want to know when I started using computers what it looked like. Okay? So, do you know the human brain is several 100 million times faster than the regular computer that's on your desktop? I said several 100 million times faster. Some estimates put it at 10 quadrillion calculations per second. That's your human brain. All right. Now let me give you some more stats. Because this is science. You need to know that what I'm talking about is not mumbo jumbo. This is real stuff. That if you follow this, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. All right. So now, they say estimates vary, but say about 60 trillion cells that you have in your body. Your human heart is functioning. Temperature has to be maintained exactly. You know, it's amazing how close that has to be maintained. Our medicine friend over there can vouch for all of that. All of those things. Let me ask you this. Any of these things that are going on, do you control any of it? Please, talk to me. No, it just happens. It's on autopilot. It's all on autopilot. The reason I say all of that to you is every education, everything that we have, more or less is focused in on this right here, what we can see. It's amazing how true learning, in order to tap into your brain, you must focus in on this. All right? So that's just a little bit about the human brain. I'll tell you a few more things as we move along. Oh my God. The brain has a limitation? What an incredible, incredible thing out there, right? Just an incredible thing. Picture what you can do with your laptop. My friend again over there, you know, from Los Angeles, city of the angels, with her gadgets and stuff. All that's sweet. And something you have, I have, each and every one of us have, that is hundreds of millions of times stronger than that. And you're telling me that you can't do this, you can't do that? Success? What is success? You think you can't do this? You're telling me? Something hundreds of millions of times more powerful than that is at your disposal, each and every one of you. However, that powerful brain of yours has one limitation. And that limitation does not know what is real and what is not real. You can clap if you like, you know. If you hear something good, you know. Okay. All right. It does not know what's real and what's not real. Now let me prove that to you. Take a look at this image. That's a nightmare. All right? So when you dream, tell me, does your mind, or for your body for that matter, does it know the difference between real and not real? Talk to me. No, it doesn't. The mind does not know the difference between what's real and what's not real. Dream is a great example. So when you go through a nightmare, you wake up what? Your muscles are all shred to pieces, sweaty. Happens? All right, so that's one proof. I like me. See what I do? All right, the second one is what we call the placebo effect. Those of you that are familiar with medical science and stuff, you know this all day long, right? Sugar pill, sugar-coated pill, given to women, said as contraceptive pills. And their rate of conception was far lower. New England Journal of Medicine, recent report, well, not quite that recent, came out where a person was operated upon, had a very bad arthritic knee. And some incisions were made, but no real surgery was done. But the patient was told, real surgery has been done. Guess what? And they did the study over a long period of time. 6 years has gone by, he's healed. And what amazed me is our singer friend, our musician friend, said the same thing. That his jaw, no medical science said could cure it, was cured. So you think that's mumbo jumbo? That's not mumbo jumbo. We do not know how powerful our brain is. We do not know what is within your grasp. That's the problem. The problem is not that we don't have it. All right. There are tons of more examples I can go into, but let's just keep moving. So you see, your perception then is your reality. Some of you may have heard this before. Your perception is your reality. So when you perceive something to be true, guess what? That will become your reality. Great leaders have always created a vision for themselves. Doesn't matter who it is. Great leaders, okay? They've always created. What it is, I call it the 2 stages of creation. First creation is what happens in your mind. The second creation is when you actually do it. If your first creation is very strong, you start living in that creation. All your being, all your forces, and that 10 quadrillion computer is going to back you up. That's how it happens. All right, you still don't believe me, right? That perception is reality? What do you trust the most? Say, I'm telling you, I saw it with my own eyes. Don't you guys say that? Yeah. Huh? I saw it with my own eyes. So I guess you don't believe me. So look with your own eyes. I have a picture over here. What do I have? I have black slants going this way, right? And I have a darker color gray on the left and a lighter color gray on the right. Would you all agree with me? Say yes. Okay, now let me remove the black from it and then tell me what do you see. Oh my God, they're the same color. Hello, you think this trick photography? No, it's not. No, it's not. Our eyes see contextually. Now let me put the black. Now that I've already told you and you've witnessed it, that's the same color, right? So now your brain should register, shouldn't it? Watch. It still doesn't. I just put the black slats on. Your brain sees. You see, so have I proven my point that perception is reality, is not really what you see. Most of us have been trained from very early on. I'm so sad to say, and I say that, and I do this leadership because my alma mater, right? BUIT, I do this on a quarterly basis. And I teach them about the inverted pyramid and all the engineering, all the stuff that it's just the bottom, just the bottom. Everything else is totally different that they don't teach you at school. I'm so sad to say. All right. Let's go back to our brain again. Now, so, the top brain is connected to your 5 senses, okay? What you hear, see, blah, blah, blah. Everything that you see and hear, it's amazing how memory works. Memory is only a few seconds unless you re-trigger it. Within a few seconds, it goes to subconscious, and where it goes, God knows, okay? They say there's about 1 billion neurons. If you do your permutation and combination, you'll see what happens there, right? So, the subconscious brain is a repository, it's a reflection of everything that you know, everything that you are. Your personality today, right? Each one has their own individual personality. Your personality today is a combination of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. How you think, how you act, and how you feel. And your personal reality, called your life, is because of your personality. This is, by the way, Dr. Joe Dispenza. So of course, many other people have said it in different ways, but in this exact way, Dr. Joe Dispenza is one of my favorites in neuroscience. By the way, all of this doesn't come. I've been studying this for over 2 decades. All right? So once again, your personality, who you are today, is because of what you think, how you act, and how you feel. That gives rise to your personal reality called your life. Now, where's the problem there? The problem is each one of us want to change our personal reality, or in other words, our lives. Don't we? Or anyone sitting here says, I'm so content, I don't need you. Okay. So we all want to change our life for the better. But the problem is we want to do that without changing our personality. And it ain't going to happen. Okay? So let's just see how our thought process is what makes us. Who you are today, at the very root of it is what? Your thinking, your thoughts. So let's just take a look at what do we feed that brain of ours? Our brain is just like our stomach. What we feed it is what we get. Keep eating junk food, guess what? Someone already told me I look fat, so what's going to happen to me if I kept eating the way I'm eating? Are you with me? Brain, on the other hand, the results are not that obvious. They're not that obvious, right? But exactly works the same way. So let's see what we feed our brain. Have you ever heard someone say this to you? It's no use. Are you trying to do that? It's no use. It's no good. You can't. Are you kidding me? You can't. That girl is out of your league. You can't. Yeah, you can't. And then, many years later, you're walking down in the mall, right? You're married yourself, you got a kid, and the girl, you see that girl. She's got a kid too. So now you got, the courage. Safe ground. So you walk up to her and say, by the way, Mary, do you know, when we were back in high school, man, I had the greatest crush on you. Mary said, you fool, I liked you too. Okay. So what do we feed ourselves? You'll never amount to anything. Sometimes our loved ones, sometimes unknowingly, say things to us they should never say. You must not. You're all wrong. You're all wrong? You're all wrong? And I'll say this to teachers. By the way, I used to teach in America, so I'm not all against teachers. If no one ever challenged the fact that the earth moves around the sun, what would we be doing today? If no one ever challenged Newtonian physics, would we ever have quantum physics? If no one ever challenged classical economics, efficient market hypothesis has gone down the drain. Now we are on to behavioral economics and stuff like that. What would have happened? So let no one ever tell you you're all wrong and you can't. Nobody cares. Heard that? You'll fail. You don't have money. What's the use? That brings me now to what I call the honeycomb of success. I'll just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this alone over here, I teach over a period of 6 to 12 weeks. 6 to 12 weeks. I'll leave you with some very key things. Hopefully, that's all you need to keep. I'll go through it very, very quickly. You see, your thoughts, right? We already went over that. Your thoughts is the very first process. You become your thoughts. So watch, just like you watch what how many of you have been to Bangkok? They sell, fried critters. Huh? Fried critters and stuff, have you seen? Huh? All right? It's very tasty to them. Is it tasty to you? Yeah? Yeah, maybe. All right? In any event, what you put in your stomach, you watch. From now on, watch what you put in your head. It is so amazing. Someone comes to me and tells me, I don't gossip. I don't gossip. But guess what? You listen to gossip. So long as there are listeners, there will be gossipers. And someone that gossips to you will gossip about you. It is so amazing to me. Someone, just a few days back, put something on Facebook. Said, post only what you practice. God, people put all sorts of stuff, and I know that they're just the opposite of what they're posting. Doesn't it irk you? All right, so let's just go. Thoughts. So what's the thoughts? We get conditioned. In other words, we become boiled frogs. Why? From our very early childhood, from parenting, teachers, society, this, that, whatever. I'm so sorry to say. Topic for another day, most all of it is wrong. Most all of it is wrong. So by the time we grow up, by the time we're at the age of 35, they say, between 25 to 35, 95% of what we do is pre-programmed. Your thoughts turn into your beliefs turn into your action. As simple as that. Actions will give you the results. So tell me, what do you want to do? Whatever it is that you want to do. It is for me. So you say, oh, you know what? Oh, I was thinking about blah, 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 blah. I was thinking about dreaming about $1 million, you know. He was a liar. I didn't get no $1 million. Well, let me tell you something. Do you remember the iceberg? The 5%, you're consciously trying to think. But the 95% is against you because you've already programmed it to think negatively. You won't make it, you'll fail. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? So, just bear that in mind. Your thoughts. This is the message that I want to leave you with. Is your thoughts. Watch the thoughts that enter your mind. You're not necessarily responsible for all the thoughts that enter your mind, but you are responsible for how long you entertain it. You're definitely responsible for that. You cannot, because someone could come up to me and say something bad before I could turn myself off. Okay, what can I say? But I'm definitely responsible for how long I entertain it. Guess what most of us do? Oh, juicy talk. So-and-so left. Husband left the wife. Oh my God. Tell me what happened? Huh? Is he seeing someone else? Oh yeah? Oh, that girl. I always knew she was bad. Okay. This is very, very comprehensive stuff, but just remember, thoughts. Turn into your beliefs, your actions, and that determines your result. But I'll now take you to one thing. Doesn't matter what we say about all this stuff, what it actually boils down to is if you don't do nothing about it. So since I'm such a great guy, what I'm going to do is, how would you like if you had 86,400 taka or dollar, would be better, okay, deposited into your account every single day? You have to be a little bit more excited than this. Picture, see, your brain doesn't quite get excited like me. You see me, how excited I am? And you're just sitting there like a zombie. And I'm telling you this unbelievable stuff. 86,400 taka every single day deposited into your account. How many people work out there and say, I love my job? Yeah, right. If you didn't have to work for a living, what would you be doing today? In any event, topic for another day. But if you had 86,400 deposited in your account, but one caveat, you have to spend it by the end of the day or the money is gone. Yippee, not bad, I'll spend it. Every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what this 86,400 represents. Number of seconds in a day. Every day, your life is deposited with 86,400. Every single day. If you don't use it, you lose it. Very honestly, what do you do with your time? So I can talk all day long. Clap, please. See, that wasn't that hard. You can clap, you can smile. Frown takes a lot more muscles. Smile. Huh? When you're happy, when you smile, actually the brain releases a chemical, serotonin. Endorphins, makes you happy. Makes the body physique go into, for whatever that you're gearing it for. On the other hand, when you're stressed, what happens? Cortisol, right? It's, some amount is necessary. But in excess, that amount stays in your body, will kill all your organs, will kill you one day. All right, so now, regardless of what we say, unless you judiciously use your time, guess what? All my talk, not going to mean nothing. Are you with me? So let your life not be a roll of the dice. Remember, life is a choice. You have a choice every single day, every single moment as to what you want to do with it. So you see, I'm at the end of my presentation. Zip through it. As far as I'm concerned, very, very fast. You can and you will. I can and I will. Let no one tell you otherwise. There is no machine created to measure human potential. No machine. Your potential is unlimited. Unlimited. You can do anything you want. Seriously, money, if you're interested in money, at one point I must admit to you, I was after money too. Because I saw money could buy me a nice car, flashy car, I could get better girlfriends, why not? I was after money too. It is so amazing if you set your brain, you can get whatever it is that you want. First time, it took me 7 years to become a multi-millionaire. I went broke after that. The second time, it took me 3. You think I have a thing or two that I can teach you? I would think so. Yes. So please, can you say with me, whatever it is that you want to achieve, and I know for some of you, money is filthy, money is bad. Well, don't take the money, give it to me. I'll take it. You go after something else, fine. Whatever it is that you want, I'm saying, what you want out of your life. So please say with me, I can and I will. Will you do that for me? One more time. And for the last time? All right, thank you so much.